People that never saw their parents show affection to one another, the chances are that when you then marry, you might not, your default will not be to show affection to your wife or to show affection to your husband because you've not seen your parents or anybody around you do it. When I was about 10, I heard a couple that we lived close by talking about going to have a shower together, and I actually saw them, going to have a shower together. And I remember thinking, as a child, I was really young, thinking, oh, that's a bit strange. Is that something a couple did together? And that stayed with me until I got married. And that's one thing that we've imbibed in our marriage whenever we can. And so children do pick things up. I never saw my parents did it, but just seeing them once, it was just one occasion. I was just close by and I heard them, and that stayed with me. And also growing up, my parents had separate rooms because that's what they did then. That's what the culture told them to do, and that's what they did. But I was fortunate that, before I got into marriage, I was able to unlearn that and actually learn that it's not only that couples should share the same room because there's so many benefits to it. It's also that your bedroom as a couple is your sanctuary. And so there's so many things. I'm sure as I'm talking, you probably are thinking of one or two things that you learned from your parents or couples that you saw growing up. Some of the things that we learn from our parents are not necessarily negative things. And if they're positive things, there are things that we can imbibe. But it's when we learn negative things that can then become our default when we get into our own marriage. And some of those negative things can actually become a thorn or thorns in the flesh of our marriage. Things that are constant sources of conflict in our relationships. And unless we create awareness of those things and try to unlearn them, then it will be really difficult for us to change.